probably had a bowl of Cocoa Puffs, or maybe even a Pop-Tart. Or maybe you don't even remember what you had for breakfast this morning at this point. But hey, I'm not judging. But while you were eating your breakfast, you probably didn't think about where the ingredients in your breakfast came from. And you definitely didn't think about the workers who grew those ingredients. It may be surprising if I told you that most of the workers that grow products such as sugar, coffee, and cocoa beans are exploited. Exploited workers receive meager wages, live in poor communities that lack access to education and healthcare facilities, and suffer poor working conditions. Many of these workers will go to work knowing that they still won't be able to provide for their families. They live in fear of not being able to meet their basic needs. This is where fair trade comes in. Fair trade works with small farmers to ensure that they are properly compensated for the products that they grow. Fair trade organizations work hard to ensure that even if the price of a crop drops, farmers still receive fair pay for their product. Over 2 billion people make less than $2 a day. And according to Fair Trade Foundations, the living wage, which is based off of how much clean water, food, shelter, and education cost in Côte d'Ivoire in Africa, is $2.50. Yet cocoa farmers make less than $1 a day when the cocoa industry is worth $5 billion. Fair trade also works hard to ensure that farmers receive premiums. Small co-ops of farmers and communities can decide where these premiums go. Many of these premiums go towards new daycare facilities, new healthcare facilities, or they're reinvested back into the farms for new tools and new equipment. And lastly, fair trade provides education to these farmers so that they can start doing sustainable farming practices and they can learn how to care for the environment. And this can lead to a larger yield of crops in the future. These are the 10 principles of fair trade. When a company decides that they want to put a fair trade logo on their product, they have to make sure that their entire supply chain abides by these 10 principles. Many of these standards we take for granted in the United States, like no child labor, no discrimination, and good working conditions. But not every country protects their people from these evils. And businesses, unfortunately, take advantage of that. Now you may be wondering, how do I know if the products I'm buying are fair trade? There are many different organizations that certify fair trade products, such as Fair Trade, Certified Fair Trade, and the World Fair Trade Organization. All of these organizations have slightly different objectives, but they have a common goal: to make globalization work for everyone and not just consumers. Now, I know as college students, your heart might be saying fair trade, but your bank account might be saying otherwise. So today, I put together a list for you of products that you can start buying right now that are fair trade and affordable. Coffee. Dunkin' Donuts buys fair trade espresso beans. So any coffee that you buy from Dunkin' Donuts that has espresso in it, such as their macchiato, you can be reassured is fair trade. Seattle's Best is a coffee company that makes a dark roast flavor that is fair trade, organic, and relatively inexpensive. Chocolate. Endangered Species makes a chocolate that is fair trade and also helps wildlife. Equal Exchange Chocolates has a variety of different flavors that are all fair trade. Clothes. Now, Patagonia isn't necessarily an inexpensive brand, but it is well known and well loved. And since 2017, 35% of their styles have been fair trade. But if you're looking for a less expensive option, then you can go with Pact, and they also have fair trade options. Last, I want you to know as a consumer, you have a voice. If we all put our foot down to products that aren't fair trade, that big companies will have to listen. Retailers will not put products on shelves that consumers won't buy. So I want to leave you with a quote from Anna Lau, an activist and author for sustainable products. She says, "Every time you spend money, you're casting a vote for the kind of world that you want. Choose a better world and vote fair trade."